Hey, what's up, guys? It's Draco in here. I haven't posted in a while, so I figured I'd just do a random video. With football season coming around the corner, I'm going to predict every team's Rookie of the Year. Some of these I might not know because, to be honest, I don't know who everybody picked. So, yeah, we randomly generated the order of the teams I'm going to go with. So that means we start with Denver. The Broncos, I'm going to go with Nick Bonito. I think that... Bonito probably should have gone earlier in the draft. He's a linebacker out of Oklahoma. And, yeah, I think that he's going to work well with that defense. Next up, we have the New York Jets. I'm going to go with Garrett Wilson on this one over Sauce Gardner, just because Garrett Wilson looked absolutely elite in college, and he actually played at a school that everybody knows really well. Cincinnati is not as competitive of a school as Ohio State, so I think I have more faith in Garrett Wilson is what I'm saying. Next up, we have the Rams. The only one I remember them picking is Logan Bruss, so I'm going to go with him. I barely even know who Logan Bruss is, but yeah. Next up, we have the Falcons. I'm going to go with Drake London here. I was going to say Arnold. I was tempted to say Arnold Ebiketie, but I think that Drake London is the safer pick here, considering he's one of only 2 pass catchers on that team. So yeah. Next up, we have the Dolphins. I'm going to go with the linebacker out of Georgia, Channing Tindall. He's really the only one in this draft that I think can relate to anything in his career, to be honest. I know they picked a quarterback, but that's the only other guy I think I remember them picking. They might have picked an offensive lineman, too. Next up, we have the Chiefs. I'm going to go with George Karlaftis. I think that Karlaftis definitely should have gone earlier in the draft than what he did. So, yeah, the Chiefs got a real steal in George Karlaftis. I think that he's going to be the most successful rookie on that team this year. Next up, we have the Browns. I'm going to go with David Bell out of Purdue, considering that there's actually a chance that he could end up as the number 1 wideout if they decide for some reason to trade Amari Cooper mid-season. I'm hearing rumors about Amari Cooper being traded mid-season. I honestly think it's unlikely, but if that happens, David Bell is going to be right there. So, yeah, I'm going to go with David Bell for Rookie of the Year for the Browns. Saints, definitely Chris Olave. I think that Chris Olave could honestly be Offensive Rookie of the Year entirely, but I don't think he wins that award. I think that goes to someone else, but yeah, Olave definitely the best pick by the Saints in the draft. Lions, definitely Aiden Hutchinson. I think he probably should have gone number 1 overall to the Jaguars, but no, he gets to play for his hometown team, which makes it even scarier. He's also my pick for Defensive Rookie of the Year, so go Hutch. Next up, we have the Vikings. I'm going to go with Andrew Booth Jr., the corner out of Clemson. I think that, honestly, he should have gone in the mid to late first round, but he ended up falling to this mid-second round. I don't know how he did. I don't know how he fell that far, but the Vikings just scooped him up. So yeah, congrats to Minnie. Next up, we got the Cardinals. I'm gonna go with, I guess, Trey McBride. I don't know about any of their other draft picks, but I'll go with Trey McBride just because even though he's gonna be a backup to Zach Ertz, I think he's just got more upside than all the other rookies on the Cardinals this year. So, yeah. Next up, we got the 49ers. I'm going to go with Drake Jackson. I think that Jackson probably could have gone in the first round. or at least the early second round. He ended up falling to the late second round of the 49ers. So yeah, it's a steal in my book. So yeah, Drake Jackson is my pick for Rookie of the Year for the 49ers. Next up, we got my team, the Panthers. I'm going to go with Ikem Ekwonu, especially since Corral is out for the season. I think that Ikem Ekwonu is the only one that is going to start as a rookie. So yeah. Next up, we got Dallas. I'm going to go with that USFL guy, Kavontae Turpin. I probably would have gone with somebody like Jalen Tolbert, but after Kavontae Turpin got 2 return touchdowns last night, it was the USFL MVP, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, I'm gonna go with him. Next up, we got LA. I'm gonna go with, I guess, Zion Johnson. Actually, no, I'm going to go with Isaiah Spiller instead, because, yes, they already have Austin Eckler, but Isaiah Spiller was one of the most underrated players in the draft this year, and the Chargers just scooped him up. So, yeah, I'm going to say that Isaiah Spiller does it, even if he doesn't get as many starts. So, yeah. Next up, we got the Steelers. I'm going to go with George Pickens over Kenny Pickett. I think that Pickens has a much bigger upside. He's apparently been extremely good in preseason. But yeah, especially since Pickett might not even start, I think that George Pickens is the safest pick here. Next up, we have the Houston Texans. I'm actually gonna go with Kenyon Green here over Derek Stingley Jr. I think that Derek Stingley Jr. could be a bust. I think that he's probably one of the most likely people in this draft to be a bust, to be honest. So I'm going to go with Kenyon Green. He's one of the only offensive linemen that actually means anything on that Texans team. So yeah. Next up, we have the Raiders. I'm going to go with their running back. I think his name is, I don't know. That running back from Alabama that everyone calls Zeus. I want to say Zamir White, but I think he's on the Bucs. But yeah, I think that whoever that running back's name is going to get that award. I don't know. The Raiders have no picks. Next up, we have the Seahawks. I'm going to go with Charles Cross here. He's one of the big 3 offensive linemen. So I think that the Seahawks really took advantage of that, even though they decided to wait too late to get an offensive lineman. But when they did, they got a really good one. The Seahawks also had a couple other picks that I liked. I liked the Tariq Woolen pick. So yeah. Anyway, next up we got the Eagles. Jordan Davis. I have Jordan Davis over Nakobe Dean here, just because Davis just seems like one of the most dynamic defensive tackles I've seen in a while. I honestly could see him becoming an all-pro in the next few years. Jordan Davis really impresses me a lot. So yeah, I think I'm gonna have Jordan Davis for the Eagles. Next up, we have the Titans. I guess Traylon Burks. I want to say Malik Willis so badly, but he's not going to start. So I'll go with Traylon Burks just because he's more likely to start, even though, in my honest opinion, he's probably going to suck in year 1. I would not be surprised if he did suck in year 1, but he's the safest option here. Next up, we have the Giants' Evan Neal. There's no question about it, especially now that Thibodeau is out for a couple weeks. Evan Neal is probably he's a guaranteed starter on that offensive line, and he's one of the best offensive line prospects of the draft, which is definitely what the Giants needed. Next up, we have the Packers. I'm going to go with Christian Watson here. I have a lot of upside for Christian Watson and his teammate Romeo Doubs, but I think that Watson ends up getting better. I actually have Watson. Okay, here's a bold thing. Christian Watson wins Offensive Rookie of the Year. Because he's playing for Aaron Rodgers, I think that he gets better in his... he gets better now that he's playing with a two-time defending MVP. I mean, both him and Dobbs could honestly be contenders for it. So yeah. Next up, we have the Bengals. I'm gonna go with Dax Hill, just because he's the only one that really I see doing much on there. I don't even know who else they got besides a goddamn long snapper. But yeah, I think Dax Hill is the safest option here. Next up, we have the Bears. I'm gonna go with Jaquan Brisker, the safety out of Penn State, I think. Yeah, so they definitely needed to get some secondary help, and they got it in Jaquan Brisker. So I think that he's the safest option for the Bears here. Next up, we have the Jags. I'm going to be bold here. I'm going to go with Devin Lloyd over Trayvon Walker. I think that both their first-round picks were linebackers. I mean, technically Walker is an edge rusher, but they're going to use him at linebacker. So, I mean, they're just they're hoping that Walker is like really good. It's basically more on potential for Walker. Meanwhile, Devin Lloyd has already like proven himself to be a great player when he played at Utah. So, yeah, I'm going to go with Devin Lloyd here. Next up, we have the Commanders. I'm going to go with Sam Howell. I think that Sam Howell gets some starting time this year. At some point, whether it's through injury or Carson Wentz just getting benched. I don't have a lot of faith in Carson Wentz, obviously. But yeah, I'm going to say Sam Howell, based on how he did against the Panthers in preseason. I could see him getting a lot more starting time, especially since every other pick was a reach for the Commanders. So yeah, good job, Sam. Next up, we have the Patriots. This is a hard one, but I'll go with Tyquan Thornton. But just because every single pick they chose was a reach. Every single one. Probably because there were no Bama players available, even though there was literally Christian Harris. But still, I'll go with Tyquan Thornton just because Cole Strange probably won't even start on the offensive line this year. Well, Thornton has a better chance at being a dynamic player than Strange. Okay, anyway, next up we have the Baltimore Ravens. This is easy. Kyle Hamilton. I think that Hamilton should have been a top, maybe even a top 5 pick, at least top 10. And he somehow ended up falling to the Ravens at 14. But yeah, Kyle Hamilton, I think that he falls short to Aiden Hutchinson for Defensive Rookie of the Year. That's how good I think that Kyle Hamilton is going to be. Especially since that secondary is already pretty damn good in Baltimore. Kyle Hamilton will just fit right in. Anyway, next up we have Buffalo. I'm going to go with their punter, Matt Araiza. Probably the best punter prospect we have seen in years. And everybody hypes him up all the time. He's even got a nickname now, the Punt God. So yeah, Matt Araiza, a punter, is going to be my Rookie of the Year for the Bills, even though Kyler Elam is pretty good. Next up we have Tampa Bay. If they picked Zamir White, I know they picked a running back with the last name White. But yeah, if that's who I'm talking about, then just whoever that running back's name is. And lastly, we have the Colts. I'm going to go with wide receiver Alec Pierce here out of Cincinnati. Yeah, wide receiver wasn't the Colts' biggest need, but if you can pick a decent wideout, then just go for it. Yeah, and Matt Ryan's going to have a new pass catcher to throw to in Alec Pierce. I mean, the only other guy I could really think of to put on this list was Bernard Ryman, but that's lame, so I'll go with Alec Pierce. So anyways, that is going to do it for this video. I will see you next time, probably with the NASCAR playoff predictions, which will be out on Sunday or Monday, whichever, depends on when the races actually run. Okay, bye.